I honestly thought that closing my clinic would give me instant peace, but instead my body went into full burnout mode. The past few weeks have been a lesson in slowing down, rebuilding my energy, and actually teaching my nervous system that it's safe again. So let's talk about this. Hey lovely, I'm Tabby, a skin health specialist, author, and soft life girly helping sensitive souls feel confident in their skin again through my skin triangle method. Here we talk all things skin, nervous system healing, and the slow, gentle lifestyle shifts that actually last. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's dive in. Hi and welcome back to Unmasking Skin. So I actually haven't been making these podcasts in a little while. I definitely went through a stage of being burnt out for a good few months, and all of this kind of led up to me actually closing my in-person facial clinic, which just felt like the next aligned step. And it's been such a change, like so strange. Like I've had my clinic for over the last 3 to 4 years, and all of a sudden it's like that routine is just completely obliterated, I guess, for the lack of a better word. I don't know. I closed the clinic and then I expected things to be kind of like calm and like just a new normal, but honestly, I felt so drained, unmotivated, and a little bit lost. And I know that's just because it's a complete new normal, and I think that's really normal with any type of change. And it really has came with a lot of grief that I feel like we don't often talk about when it comes with aligned choices and decisions, because obviously this is like a massive, amazing thing that I decided to do, and it's so I could fully pursue the direction of my business that I wanted to pursue. But it has came with grief, because naturally when things do change and you've got new routines and no routines, it is just like it's a whole lot of new, and I'm someone that has always kind of struggled with change and with a lot of new. And yeah, it's been an adjustment for sure. I've had a lot of fatigue. I've noticed my brain fog's gotten a lot worse, and I've had quite a few new breakouts and a lot of bloating. So all of the physical signs are there for burnout, and I've really had an emotional crash. I mean, a week before I closed the clinic, I got the most severe ear infection that I'm still recovering from now, and it's like 2 weeks on, and I lost all of my hearing from an ear infection. It's crazy. I didn't realise they could be that severe. And I know that it's all just warning bells from my body being like, hey Tabby, slow it down please, your nervous system is crashing, you are emotionally and physically burnt out, and this is your sign to start paying attention to yourself and your needs and make some new better habits. So that's why today I wanted to talk to you about nervous system healing in particular, and kind of recharging yourself. Not to say that you're an electronic device or a phone, but just kind of giving you some insights into how to actually look after yourself in the midst of change, in the midst of whatever life throws at you, because there's always going to be complications and things that kind of come and go, and knowing how to deal with those and how to kind of reset your body so you're back on track is going to be the best kind of way and make you feel so much more confident in knowing what to do with yourself. So that is hopefully what I'm going to kind of bring you today. So that is literally what I've been doing for the last few days. It's just the start of a reset for me. But yeah, the stress from the clinic was so long term. It was so stressful. I mean, when you're self-employed, you wear so many different hats and you're doing so many different things all the time, and I'm someone that lives and breathes my job because I love it so much, and I'm so passionate about helping people with their skin. But yeah, my nervous system definitely took a massive toll because of that, and I'm hoping now that things are more aligned and I'm kind of living a bit of a slower life, which is kind of funny because if you know me personally or you follow me on social media, you know I'm a little bit of a workaholic. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely working on my boundaries. It's always a work in progress. But I am trying to unwire those patterns and kind of regulate my nervous system after all the stress, now that the main source of the stress is kind of, left. So yeah, it's honestly like my body didn't get the memo that we're not in survival mode anymore, but we're catching up. And obviously it really links in with skin health. Like, no matter what you're going through in your life, it affects your overall health and well-being, then it's going to affect your skin. As I always say, like, your skin is your largest organ, so it makes sense that whatever's naturally affecting your wellness is going to affect your skin. So if you do have chronic stress, or if you're someone like me who has CPTSD or anything like that, where your body is constantly kind of trickling with that fight or flight, or you're someone just that needs to chill out on the regular, this is going to be one of those episodes that you're going to want to keep coming back to as that reminder to take better care of yourself. Because obviously when you've got chronic stress, you've got internal inflammation, most likely, that shows up with flare-ups in whatever capacity that means for you. If you're someone that's acne prone, it could be just more acne. If you're someone that has rosacea or dermatitis or psoriasis, you're going to see flare-ups with these things most likely, and you'll probably see slow healing as well. So the sooner we can get you making the right habits that help you regulate your nervous system, the better that it's going to be for you long term, because the more consistent you are with these things, the better it is. And obviously we're all human, so I'm not expecting you to live your life in, like with a diary that's like every 15 minutes you do these things. Like, no, we have to be realistic about what we can achieve, but the more that you help yourself, the better it's going to be. So let's dive right into the actual habits that I'm trying to kind of weave into my life. And this may seem overwhelming, and I'm not saying that these are things that I'm going to implement right now. But the idea is that I'm starting slowly with these things, and then I'm hopefully going to incorporate more and more of them to kind of habit stack. And if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, which I highly recommend, by the way, he recommends in that book that you basically add new habits to old habits. So for example, if you're someone that has never applied skincare before, it can be really hard to get into that habit of starting to apply skincare in the morning and the evening. So what he recommends for you to do is basically just put that with you brushing your teeth, because brushing your teeth is probably a habit that you already have, that you do hopefully morning and evening. So if you then, every time you brush your teeth, you do your skincare routine, then it's like you get into a better scenario of that. So there's my first tip of this episode, is to habit stack and put it in with things that you already do if you can. So let's go straight in with them. So I'm starting with a slow morning. I'm trying my best to wake up at a regular, consistent time. So for me, this is usually about 8:30 a.m. And obviously we all have very different schedules, and you might have to wake up earlier for work, but whatever routine that is for you, I recommend that you stay consistent with it, even on weekends, because the more regular this is for you and your body, the more manageable your hormones are going to be, because your hormones like consistency. So when we have a really slow morning, this means waking up, not going on your phone for like the first half an hour if you can avoid it, and actually just like kind of just being with yourself and your thoughts in the most meditative state that you can be. So I want to start incorporating lemon water to start my day. This is something I used to do all of the time, and lemon water is fantastic for detoxifying your body. So if you're someone that gets bloated a lot, it kind of just helps with that. So what you do is you basically have warm water, and then you basically cut up a lemon, and then you squeeze half of that lemon into the water, and it's a really good way to start your day like this. And obviously if you have any animals, that is probably the best time of day to get those cuddles in as well. So, cuddles are fantastic. So I would really recommend that way to start your day if you can. Otherwise, I'm trying to incorporate more movement. I've been really struggling with this at the moment because I'm getting so fatigued all of the time, and I know that is just my body being like, hey, can we slow it down? Can we settle a bit more, please? So as much as I intend to do these things, it obviously just kind of depends on the way that I wake up as well. And there's a little tangent as well. So I'm what am I trying to say? I'm undertaking diagnosis for ADHD at the moment. And I've kind of started to incorporate a few ADHD kind of tools into my everyday life. So I'm going to share those with you quickly now, because perhaps they will help you even if you have ADHD or not. I'm sure they will still be beneficial for you. So every single day I wake up and I say, which version of Tabby am I today? So in my head, I've got 3 versions. I've got CEO Tabby, which is the Tabby that is productive. I get in my hyper-focus zone. I can work for like 12 hours that day and usually forget to go to the toilet or drink or eat during that day because I'm so in my zone. But if I wake up and I feel like I can do that, that is my CEO Tabby day. Then we've got chill Tabby, which means I've woken up, I'm a little bit more sluggish, but I'm feeling like I can be productive, and that means I can do a little bit, but not like loads. And then I've got cocoon Tabby, which is days where I wake up and I'm so exhausted and drained that I really struggle to get myself out of bed, and I need that time to just kind of settle into myself. So on those days, I don't have any productivity. It's kind of just giving my nervous system that break that I need. And obviously, if you're someone that works a typical 9 to 5, that's going to be very difficult to put into a routine. And I understand I'm so privileged that I'm able to kind of work in that capacity now that I've closed my clinic. But that is kind of the way that I am working. So back to my point. With body movement and things like that, what I'm trying to do is go to the gym 3 times per week. 3 times a week, that's what I'm kind of doing. And I'm kind of doing it on a week by week basis. So at the start of the week, I'm writing a list of these are things I want to accomplish this week, and each day when I'm able to do those things, I tick them off that I've done them already on a day. Otherwise, I'm doing gentle walks, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to do these things while I know that my body is kind of in that fight or flight and it's needing a little bit more compassion and self-love, where I'm not constantly go, 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 even though it's really hard to get out of that mentality. And otherwise, I'm trying to incorporate kind of micro sessions of nervous system regulation tools. So for this, I mean like EFT tapping. This is my favourite whenever I'm feeling stressed or feel a little bit strange in myself. That is my kind of go-to all of the time. No matter where I am, I'm always doing tapping. Like always, even if it's just on the karate chop point on your hand, like wherever I am, I'm always doing it, honestly. Otherwise, trying to incorporate more breath work. Box breathing is one of my preferred methods, and also meditation. I've been trying to kind of finish my day with meditation because usually it makes me so relaxed that I can fall really easily into sleep afterwards. So if you're someone that struggles with sleeping or insomnia, this could be one of those tools that you kind of incorporate into your life that hopefully help a little bit with that. So that is kind of what I recommend, and I'm trying to incorporate 3 of those kind of micro things into my day-to-day, because if I can tick 3 things off a day where I know that I'm regulating my nervous system, that's gonna really, really benefit my health and my well-being. Obviously, eating balanced meals with protein that kind of stabilise like blood sugar, that's obviously going to be so beneficial because that really, really helps to reduce that stress response, and also just managing your omega-3s, because obviously you want a really good ratio of omega-3 where you know that it's kind of reducing your omega-6 intake, because omega-3, helps reduce that inflammation internally. So obviously having a good routine, having kind of some go-to snacks is kind of what I've been doing that are like healthy. So instead of kind of binging on like biscuits and things like that, what I've done is kind of made sure I've got like almond butter in, I've got like bananas in, coconut yogurt, medjool dates, all of these types of things that when I'm opting for a snack, I'm basically making sure that I'm eating like a healthier alternative that's not going to kind of disrupt my like insulin levels basically, so it helps lower that stress response in my body. Along with that, I'm trying to make sure that I drink at least 2 litres of water per day. And I've got such a good little hack for this at the moment, which I just have to share with you. And I used to do this all of the time years ago when it was like kind of like the trend to do it. And for some reason I stopped doing it and I don't know why. But what I've been doing is I've got my Incredible Stanley cup, which I actually really recommend because I tend to drink a lot of my water out of it. I don't know why. I just do, maybe because it keeps it like colder for longer with it being like a flask. But what I've been doing is basically popping in some frozen fruit into my water every day, and I've been drinking such a crazy amount of water compared to what I was doing before that it's been so beneficial. I highly recommend you doing this. And the last kind of tip that I have for you is finding time to go out in nature. Specifically for me, my favourite thing ever is going to the beach and looking at the ocean, and just kind of, it really helps me ground myself and make me realise like, oh yeah, like I'm a living, breathing person, there's life going on around me, like whatever I'm worried about right now isn't that big in the grand scheme of things because there's so much life going on and I've got so much more life to live. So being in nature really helps ground me and kind of gives you like a sensory reset in that kind of capacity. So I highly recommend if you can go out every single day and do something, even if it's just for half an hour. Like all of these things make such an amazing impact on your well-being, your health, your skin. So definitely see where you can make small adjustments in your day-to-day with all of these little things. Like they really do kind of compile and make you feel so much better in the long run. So I'm definitely going to start doing more of these things. Like they might sound like a lot, but really when you start like habit stacking them, and like they're really not that hard to do, it's just getting in a new routine sometimes can feel really overwhelming. Especially like if you're someone like me that doesn't love change, it can be really hard to get in new routines with things. But when you do, it's so worth it, so worth it, and it makes you feel so much better. And obviously the more of these things you do, the better you're going to feel in the long run, and that is going to have to be your driver, you know, the thing that kind of makes you get up in the morning and think, yeah, I'm going to opt for a lemon water to start my day, even though I really want a coffee. Like it's going to be those types of things where it keeps you going and keeps you consistent, because if you don't have a driver, you're just not going to stay consistent. Let's be real. How many times do, you know, we set at the beginning of the year, like, I'm going to go to the gym, like, 7 days per week, I'm going to do this because I want like a healthy body, I want that summer gorgeous body, and then you get like 3 weeks in and you think, nah, I'd rather sleep in. So yeah, your driver has to be good enough where it keeps you going on those hard days. And you also just have to have compassion with yourself as well. If one day you wake up and you don't feel as good that day and you don't do these things, just make sure you get back on it the next day and be that accountable person for yourself, because who else is going to be? I mean, technically I am a little bit, because I'm giving you this information. So if you do need accountability, check me out on my Instagram. I'm sure I'll be sharing all of these things that I'm doing all of the time, and I'll obviously give you updates on how that's going, because yeah, consistency can be very difficult. But if you are in burnout right now, pick one gentle thing you can repeat daily, even if it's just 5 minutes of deep breathing. Consistency is more important than intensity, and you don't have to overhaul your whole life in like one day. Just slowly build up, make yourself a list of things that you want to start doing that get you like one step closer to living that ideal life and that ideal version of you. Yeah, it makes such a difference. So I hope that you can find the strength in yourself to do these things for yourself, because you deserve to do this for yourself. You deserve to feel incredible every single day you wake up. You deserve to love yourself a little bit extra, and you don't have to give yourself permission for that, because that should just be your normal. If this episode resonated with you, you will love my free skin triangle quiz. It'll show you which part of your healing to focus on for the biggest shift in your skin and your well-being. You can find it linked in the show notes, or you can go straight to my website, tabithaisabel.com, and you will find it there. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you took something amazing away from it, and I will see you next week for the next episode. I'm sending you so much love. I'm Tabby. I shall see you soon. Bye.